An upgrade on Fiacre Tuare's potential move away from Kaizer Chiefs. A hold-up with Kamayo coming back to Kaizer Chiefs. Update on injuries at Kaizer Chiefs ahead of a return to the league. And what is happening with Safa and deciding the case of Luke Batman and Asanele Velepayan. And how likely are we to win that case? And the fixture which will make Kaizer Chiefs have some very interesting decisions to make. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pelo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. So the very first story for today is Fiacre Ntwari. He's been brilliant for Rwanda. We've seen him play. He was brilliant when they played against South Africa. He's just good for his national team. But is he still going to Tanzania? It turns out he's not. And I completely get why this is the case. Number one, look at the order right now at Kaizer Chiefs. Last year, it seemed to be Bruce Vuma, and then it was Peterson, right? But this season, Vuma is not even on the bench. In the games that we've seen recently, the last 3, 4, 5 games, even I think since the beginning of the season, the person who's been sitting on the bench is Fiacre Ntwari. By the way, Vuma, as much as it doesn't get listed in the starting 11 or reserves even, he's always with the team, he's always with the keepers training during warm-ups. But the picking order is clear now. It's Peterson and Ntwari. And with Ntwari having experience in continental football, I won't actually be surprised if I see Ntwari being a starter in CAF games, because these reports are saying that Ntwari is now willingly staying at Kaizer Chiefs to see out and see whether he can compete for the number 1 goalkeeper spot, because all it takes is for Peterson to get injured, because that's how Ntwari lost his place last season. Yes, he wasn't having a good season even when he was played, but if Peterson gets injured, then you need to have someone just as competent as him to be ready to start. Which brings us to Kamayo. I saw something about him having to come back today, but the hold up that has been delaying him, apparently he's been waiting for some documents. Some reports were saying that he was waiting for a clearance, which I think shouldn't have been that difficult, because I mean, it's not like Chiefs were trying to steal him or the team was trying to hold on to him. They did not want him because they had more Algerian players that they wanted to register, and then they did not want to keep him. So I don't know why it's taking so long now. I really don't understand, but that means this is not going to be available for the game that we're playing next week, because if it's a Wednesday today and he's not here yet, or he's not started training with the team, then we have problems. Which then brings us to the injury update. So the good news is Aiden McCarthy is training with the team, so he will be available for the game on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the game against on the 16th, basically. The game on the is it the 16th? Yes, the game against Sekukune, right? He will be available, because even for the previous game, he was, he could have been played. It's just that the technical team did not want to risk it. So it's good to know that he's ready, because as much as Ukweneka has been given that has been solid, I think it's also just good to also have balance in your backline, because Kweneka can always be a backup, but Umakati, with how he's been playing, I think he should come back and start in that position. Simango is also alongside who's this guy, Urushun Totally. They're also getting better and better. So there is no date that is set yet, but they are getting closer to their return date. We're also getting closer to 70,000 subscribers. I know we're on 63,000, but we can get there. If you've already subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, like the video so that, more people can see it. By leaving a comment, by sharing with your friends, that's making YouTube say, hey, this is a nice video, let's show it to more people. So small things like that are very big, actually. So like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. I know 80% of people who watch the channel are actually not subscribed. So that means if this video is watched by 20,000 people, 16,000 people who watch the video are not subscribed. Imagine, guys. That's a lot of people who are not subscribed. So can you please subscribe? The target, we're trying to get 200,000. So please subscribe. Which then brings us to the next player, and that is Luke Batman. And I have even gone deeper and asked myself, or not myself, done some research to see how likely are Kaizer Chiefs to win the case, because the PSL has appointed an arbitrator to hear, not the PSL, SAFA has appointed an arbitrator to hear the case of Cape Town Spurs, because now it's been appealed not just to the DRC committee of the PSL, but it's now with SAFA. And Chiefs are going to win this case, because not only have they done this with two of the players, there's also Liam, I forget Liam, his surname. He signed for Amazul. He won the case with the DRC committee, right? And then there's this guy which has signed for Chipa, he's a fourth person. So there is clearly a clear regulatory backing here, because it states, the NSL handbook explicitly states this, and I will read, that relegated clubs cannot sell contracted players, effectively freeing them to leave without transfer fees. Number 2, the PSL Dispute Resolution Chamber has already ruled in favor of 4 players, that is Velepai, Batman, Liam Ben, and now Ubochi, who joined Chipa United. Number 3, legal foundation. Spurs relegation to amateur ranks triggered the regulatory provision that allows players to leave as free agents. And number 4, Chiefs acquired the players Velepai after they were cleared by the DRC committee. So it's not like Chiefs went and signed the players before they got the clearance. The clearance, the case was won by players against Cape Town Spurs. It wasn't Chiefs fighting Cape Town Spurs, but it was the players fighting Cape Town Spurs. So then Chiefs just signed players who were already free and had clearances because of the NSL. So Chiefs have a very strong position. They are not losing this case. They are going to get them, unless SAFA obviously finds a different interpretation of the rules, but it's not likely that Kaizer Chiefs will lose this case. So those players are as good as, well, they are Kaizer Chiefs players. It's just that Chiefs are obviously not going to take the risk. The case will be heard next week. It's the 10th of September today, and the case will be heard next week. Which brings us to these fixtures. Now, I need you to look very close here. 16th of September, Chiefs plays Sikukune. 20th of September, Chiefs plays away in Angola. 24th of September, Kaizer Chiefs will be playing Marumo Gallants at FNP. 27th of September, Kaizer Chiefs plays their second leg of the CAF Confederations Cup at FNP. And then the fixture that you don't see here is on the 1st of October, which will now be played at FNP. It was supposed to be played against Amazulu in Durban, but now the fixture has been moved to FNP. Now, this is good and bad, right? Because the technical team now has to make decisions or rotation and because the matches are close. But on top of that, Chiefs has now they played one game away, which was Cape Town, right, against Stellenbosch. And then they played Polokwane at home. They played Richards Bay at home. They played Sundowns, which was supposed to be away. But since there was that Scorpion Kings thingy, the game was brought to FNP. So another away game played home, which was supposed to be an away game. And then we played, what was the 5th game that I think we've played 4 though. It was Sundowns. Sundowns was the last game. And then there was Richards Bay. Arrows was away. Yes, so Arrows was away, which was the last game. So we've only played 2 away games in the first 5. And then now we're going to play Sekukune at home. We're going to play Gallants at home. We're going to play Amazulu at home. And we're also going to play, So you're looking at the first 10 games potentially being 8 of them are home games. That's a lot. We've already played 3 at home. So now we're going to add Amazulu at home. On top of that, we're now going to add Gallants at home. We're also going to add Sikukune at home. So that's 6 games of the first 9 at home. That's a lot of the first 8 at home. Which means now in the second leg, there will be a lot of traveling. And I'm not sure if this is smart, because second half of the season, there will be after the AFCON, right? So after the AFCON, and I know we'll still be in the CAF Confederations Cup, so we'll be traveling in these away games in Africa and will be having to come back and play these games. So that might not be the good strategy if Kaizer Chiefs are trying to say, you know what, let's continue our start. Let's have a very good start and make sure we start well. And later on in the season, even if we're traveling, we'll already have gained rhythm. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. That if we win as many games as possible early on, having the advantage of playing home and not having to travel around the country. I don't know. Because I also think that in the second half of the season, that's when our home games won't be here at FNP, but the 3 games will be taken to Polokwane. So there's going to be a lot of traveling, and it's just making me uneasy about this whole situation. But, you know, I think it might work, especially because maybe the games that are around the time we were supposed to play, maybe Polokwane City in Polokwane, the next game is maybe Makesi. They will, you know, Chiefs, they can play Makesi in Polokwane, but it's closer to their home in Makesi. But, you know, I'm blabbering. I don't know. Are you guys concerned at all about so many home games early on in the season, or do you think that's just going to help us with the momentum so that later on in the season we'll be unstoppable? You let me know down in the comment section below. Become a member by clicking the first comment that is on the pinned comment in the comment section. Help the channel to make more content. Thank you so much for watching the video, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelumoy.